Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm just doing a very casual Q&A. It feels like it's been a long time since I've sat down and just had a chat with you guys. That's why I'm keeping it very casual today. I am literally here with no makeup on, my hair scraped up. It's like 5 o'clock at night and I'm using my ring light for the first time. So you'll have to bear with the lighting and everything. But it's just great that I can actually like film when it's not daylight, because I am restricted at the moment to just filming when it's daylight and just filming at the big window in my bedroom, because that's where the natural daylight comes from. I'm in a different area of the bedroom today and I'm sat down cozy on the floor and going to film this Q&A for you. So without further ado, let's go. So as I've mentioned many times before, I film on my phone, which means to do this Q&A I have to look at the questions, which kind of spoils it sometimes. And I wrote all the questions down and put them into sticky notes, post-it notes and into a hat. So that's the way we're going to do it today. Like I said, I want to just keep it very casual, very chilled and just quite honest. Not every video is going to be glam with makeup on and put together. So let's start with the first one. So the first question is my death row meal. Now, I have thought about this a couple times before. If like I had to have my last meal ever, what would it be? And I almost feel like I may have answered this before in a previous Q&A. But I do think for starters it would be nachos. Like nachos to me is like the perfect starter. I love Mexican guacamole, sour cream, cheese, the nachos, like everything about nachos I love. So I feel like that would be a good place to start, nachos for my starter. For my main course, I always think of steak, but steak isn't my favourite. I'm trying to think what my favourite meal is. This is so annoying because when you think about it on the spot, you're like, I have no idea. But then as I'm eating something, I'm like, oh my god, this is my favourite. I love this so much. But I want to kind of stick to the Mexican theme and go for fajitas, or enchiladas. Those kind of things are definitely like my favourite kinds of foods. So it's very similar where it's got the wraps, the cheese, the salsa, guacamole and all that kind of thing. Those are just my favourite kinds of foods. But to go for something different, I'm like, oh, do I say steak? Like, I do love a good steak. The other night I had a really good steak that Lewis cooked for us all. And it was literally just like a Lidl's own sirloin steak with peppercorn sauce, sweet potato fries, cherry tomatoes. He also cooked some mushrooms as well, which I've just started to get into mushrooms, like I'm growing up, and that was really tasty. So I'm gonna say either steak or fajitas, and then my dessert would probably have to be something chocolatey. I am a huge chocolate fan, although saying that, when I had my steak for dessert we had a chocolate like melt in the middle pudding. It was from Lidl. It was like this chocolate bomb, and I just found that way too sickly. Like maybe as I've gotten older and my taste buds have matured, like maybe that's too rich and sickly for me now. I don't know. But something chocolatey is like my go-to. And in terms of what I would order in a restaurant, like if it was on the menu, I love creme brulee, which is so basic and boring, but I just love it. So yeah, nachos, steak, let's say something chocolatey is like my all-time like go-to death row meal. Go-to death row meal. It's not a go-to because you're going to die after it, but that's what I'm sticking to. So I'm just going to go on to the second one. What's this say? Favourite takeaway and your order. So sticking to the food idea, I like that people are starting to see that I am quite a bit of a foodie. Like I love my food a lot. Favourite takeaway, do you know, I'd say the one I go to the most is probably pizza, like Domino's. But because I've had Domino's a couple of times recently, I'm almost like, not that. I actually think this weekend we're going to have a curry, and I do like a boona from a Indian. Chinese, I think sometimes I crave Chinese so much, have it, and then I feel like it's a bit of a letdown. Does anybody else feel like that? Like you have the Chinese, you've been waiting ages. And it might have been because the last time we had a Chinese, we literally waited 3 hours for this stupid Chinese to come. And then when we're on the phone to the takeaway place, and we're saying like, we've been waiting 3 hours now, when's it coming? Are we going to get a discount when the food arrives because you've taken so long? Like, yeah, no worries, we'll give you a discount. We came, they wanted the full price, so we're like, fine, full price. Checked in our takeaway bag and a couple of our main dishes were missing. So it was like 9:30 at night, and that's too late for me to eat really. But I was like, you know, we are so hungry, it goes past the point where I'm not even hungry anymore. It was like that. So what am I gonna say? Not Chinese. It probably is pizza, you know, but I think it's because I'm fancying an Indian, like, now that I'm thinking Indian, but it's probably a pizza. It's probably pizza, yeah. And my order would be I really like from Domino's the cheeseburger. They've brought that back and I love that. Like, I love gherkins and those kind of things, so I really like the cheeseburger and the ranch Texas barbecue as well. That's a classic. But I do actually think I prefer a tomato base, which I know some people are like, what? I do prefer tomato base than a barbecue base. Say no more. The next question, oh, I've got two ones. What's this one? Best sandwich filling. I mean, is my channel just about food? Because I think it is. Best sandwich filling. I'm trying to think, like, my go-to is probably tuna. Yeah, maybe tuna and cheese. Toasty. Like, I prefer toasties to sandwiches. So tuna and cheese, I'm going to say. Next one. Any tips on looking after your mental health during this time? Now, I'm glad someone's asked that, because being really honest, my mental health hasn't been great the past couple of weeks. I think since lockdown, everybody's struggling, and I think mental health can have a domino effect. So if people close to you are suffering, you can't help but feel the ripple of that as well. So tips to deal with your mental health during this time is to, one, if you can, surround yourself with positive people. Two, positive affirmations, practicing positive, like, mindset, reminding yourself what you're grateful for every day, and having positive and healthy routines as well. I think it's so easy to just sit on the sofa every day and watch Netflix, and don't get me wrong, I've definitely done that the past couple of days, because sometimes when you're if you're in that state of mind where you can't put your mind to anything, you just want to vegetate on the sofa. That's all you feel like you are capable of, and it's okay to have days like that where you feel like, this is all I'm capable of doing today, but tomorrow I'm going to do better. But take time, practice self-care, positive affirmations, exercise, getting outside, having a walk, drinking plenty of water, which sounds so cliche, but it is so true. And yeah, just do things that make you feel good and that are healthy. So that's what I would say. Favourite place to go for a walk to clear my head? Where do I like to go for a walk? If it's just locally, we have quite a few fields and stuff. Like, we're quite lucky that we are in Kegworth. We're really close to a lot of motorways and cities, but we are very close to the countryside as well. So we have quite a lot of really lovely walks around us, over fields, canals. I like to go around there if I'm going locally. If I'm going in the car somewhere, I like to go to Bradgate Park. I think I've always loved Bradgate, and I've gone there since I was little. But if I was going somewhere to clear my head, I'd probably just go locally. I'd just go for a walk around the block or something. And if I'm needing to clear my head, I'm not particularly wanting to go in the car and then go somewhere, like, I just want to do it now. So somewhere locally, just like a couple of the canals and fields around me. But places, I do like Bradgate Park. The next one is how to pick the perfect Christmas present. Now, I'm actually really glad that somebody's asked this, because I'm not sure when this video is going up, but I have, or they are out, some Christmas gift guides coming out, or out now. So I have two videos, a Christmas gift guide for him and a Christmas gift guide for her. And within both of those videos, I talk about how to pick the perfect present. I have 3 different price points within those videos. So I have presents that are £30 and under, £50 and under, and £100 and under. and I talk about what I think the perfect presents are. And I guess in that video you can find out how to pick the perfect present for the person that you want to buy for, and at the perfect price point for you. So I'm going to kind of leave you on a bit of a cliffhanger as to what my answer would be for that question, and I'm just going to say either wait for those videos or check those out if they are out. So the next one is a dream YouTube brand collaboration. My dream YouTube, probably something to do with mental health, because that's ultimately what keeps bringing me back to do YouTube, to talk about mental health, and it also helps me with my mental health. I think obviously materialistic things such as skincare and beauty products would be amazing as well, but ultimately my dream collab would be something to do with mental health. What that would be and in what respect, I have no idea. I have always thought about writing a book one day, or doing a podcast or something talking about real topics, real life with real people. Well, I do feel like everybody and their dog is doing podcasts nowadays. Like, they are just popping up like nobody's business. But my dream collab, I can't name a specific brand, like a name of a company or organisation, but I'd say it'd be in the kind of fields of something to do with mental health, definitely. How long have I been doing YouTube, and what first got me into it? So I have been doing YouTube for a couple of months, I think, because I started it a couple months into the first lockdown. So a couple of months, and I hit today my first big milestone of 100 subscribers. So if you haven't already and you're watching this video, please support me and subscribe and like this video, because I've said it before and I'll say it again. Majority of people who watch my videos are not subscribed, and it really does help my channel and me by subscribing. Little plug. So a couple of months, and what first got me interested in it, I just feel like I have a voice and I have things that I want to talk about, and as a viewer I know how comforting and enjoyable YouTube is to watch. I've been watching YouTube for years as a viewer, and now as a creator and a viewer I just have so much more respect and love for YouTube. So I think just the fact that I've been watching it for so many years and thought, oh, that looks like something I want to do, is what got me into it. And probably what made me start is I'm at this point in my life where I feel a little bit lost, and this is something I wanted to touch on in another video, but I may as well talk about it here because I don't think it warrants a whole video by itself. But I think that stage in between finishing uni and then getting your first proper job is really scary, and you don't know what to do with your life. And I did get a job, but like I said before, COVID hit, so I'm back kind of to like my pre-uni job, which is waitressing. So I just felt stuck in a rut as to what I wanted to do, what direction I wanted to go in, and I just felt like I wanted to talk about that on YouTube, and also start YouTube as a hobby, obviously during lockdown, and just give me a bit of direction, and so I didn't feel so lost during lockdown and thinking about jobs and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I would say for that question. Next, do you miss being a student? Yes and no. I would not like to be a student in 2020. I think I've answered that question before. I miss the social life, definitely. I do not miss the stress. I miss the social life, the structure, the certainty of what I'm doing each week. But I don't miss the stress and the exams, and I wouldn't like to be a student in 2020. Next one is, tell us one of your favourite childhood memories. What comes to mind straight away is I was in my childhood home back in Nuneaton, which is where I was born, and me and my brother would sit on our stools as we were eating dinner, and quite often we would just piss about. And we would have this one time we had mash, and I remember me and my brother sitting there and we were messing around, and we just found it absolutely hilarious that I'd put as much mashed potato in my brother's mouth as possible, and then so his cheeks would be full, and then I'd just squeeze them, so all this mashed potato like worm came out his mouth, and we just thought it was the funniest thing ever. And I just remember being so happy, like that's such a happy memory, being at my home with my family, with my brother, having dinner, messing around, and that was like typical family life for me, and like what I remember as a childhood memory, which isn't like a huge one, but straight away I just think of spending time with my brother, messing around, eating food, obviously. So that's probably one of my memories that comes to mind straight away, which isn't a big one, but I think it's quite nice that it's just like a chill at home memory. What am I most appreciative for? Straight away, I'm appreciative for my boyfriend, because he has in these past couple of days been my biggest, he's my rock. I'm appreciative for my health, and I'm appreciative for just life, really. I think that's what 2020 has taught me. Like, I'm just so appreciative for life, and for having things to look forward to, that I'm healthy, and having people around me that are really good for me and really supportive. So that's probably what I'm grateful for, most appreciative for. And then I've just got a question: summer or winter? This might be because I did a poll on my Instagram. I created a story template, which you can find on my Instagram, another plug, of like this or that, and I put on there summer or winter. And for me, definitely more of a winter person, even though it's weird because my mood always drops in winter. I just much prefer winter, like Christmas, festivity, the leaves fall in autumn. Like, I love the seasons changing from summer to autumn, and then that time onwards I love. By about Feb, I'm over winter, but I'm more a winter person, I would say. I prefer the winter and the winter fashion as well. Next I've got, how did I decide what I wanted to do as a job? Maybe they mean, because I'm not in my career yet, so how did I decide what I want to do as a job? In terms of what I picked as a degree for what I wanted to do as a job, and I think I spoke about this before as well, but I wanted to work in a job where I could keep on progressing. I didn't want to be in a job where you could only get so far and you would never progress further than that, like a dead-end job basically. And I saw business as that, but I didn't want to do straight business, and I saw law as that, but I didn't want to do straight law. So I saw business law as a combination of a career that I could keep on progressing in, and that's something that I would enjoy. It would challenge me. Yeah, and that's it in short, because I know I've probably mentioned this before, as to why I picked my degree in my whole student series. Yeah, so I don't know, that's my reasons for picking that degree, and then the jobs that would come out of that degree. But in terms of the job that I'm doing now, which is waitressing, I chose it because I was 16 and I needed money, and I'm 22 and still doing it, so we move. Next question: Christmas plans considering COVID? Well, my plans pre-COVID were just to work. I have managed to get away with not working Christmas Day or New Year's Eve for like 4 years. So now that I'm in part of the management team at work, I would have to do one of the big Christmas like festive days this year. I couldn't have not got away with it. So my plans were just to work, because I knew I probably would have to, and it's double pay on Christmas, so it's like there was my plans. Now, I mean, lockdown really prevents any plans, so I guess just be at home here, and have a Christmas in, which sucks because I can't see my own family, but I mean, you can't really plan nowadays, I feel like, so
it is what it is.
Next one, all these are sticking together. How are you? It's nice to have you back, girl. Thank you so much for saying that. How am I? I'm okay. Without sugarcoating things, I have had a difficult couple of weeks. I think it's just a combination of, like I said, I tend to get low around this time of year. I've made a video all about my seasonal affective disorder. And like I said, people were suffering with their mental health during this second lockdown, and it has a ripple effect, and it's rippled. So I'm okay, I'm getting there, but it's nice that people are welcoming me back into the social media world, because I haven't posted on Instagram in such a long time. This is obviously, I post on Instagram about asking me questions for these YouTube videos. But yeah, I'm okay, I'm getting there, trying to keep positive, and doing YouTube and social media definitely makes me feel so much better and gives me a purpose as well during this time. Next question. Hardest and best lesson 2020 has taught you. Hardest is probably not everything pans out the way that you want it to, and you can't control everybody and everything, because obviously no one could have controlled 2020. And best is just to slow down and probably just appreciate everything and life, and yeah, just slow down a bit and look around at what's happening, because what's that quote? It's like something like, if you slow down and watch what's happening around you, like it's basically like you would have looked forward to where you're at right now and you don't even realise that you're there, essentially. I think that's what the quote is. If I find it, I'll insert it somewhere. But yeah, the hardest is that you basically, you're not going to get what you want all the time, and best is just to slow it down and take each day as it comes. Next one. How many kids do I want? I would like 2, boy and a girl. Classic. Next one, advice for 2020 graduates. So my advice for 2020 graduates is really not to be too hard on yourself. Graduating and a couple of months after uni are really difficult. I have made a video all about my post-uni blues, which I couldn't even imagine how it would feel being a 2020 graduate, because I was a 2019 graduate. Don't beat yourself up if you're not exactly where you want to be. I mean, we're in a global pandemic, so, you know, I wasn't where I wanted to be just in normal life. So in a pandemic, it's going to be really difficult. And that's, I mean, really, it's hard to know what to say. But yeah, don't be too hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you're not exactly where you want to be. And just, yeah, like I said, take every day as it comes. And things are not, this is not going to be like this forever, and eventually good things are going to come to you and it will all be worth it in the end. So moving on to the next question. How many have I got left? Oh, this is my second to last one. So how am I trying to stay positive through the second lockdown? So I've already mentioned a couple of things, just like focusing on things that I know are healthy and good for me, that I enjoy. So that is making YouTube, it's also watching YouTube, watching my programs, making sure I get up every day, shower, have a goal and routine for each day. So I plan my week still, even though I'm not going to work every day. And yeah, just positive affirmations and setting goals. Those kind of things are really positive and good things for me, that keeps me focused and motivated as well. So I would say those kind of things is what keeps me positive during lockdown, is being focused, having a routine, having structure, having things to look forward to, whether it's at the weekend, we're going to have a takeaway, or we're going to bake cookies, we're going to go on a really long walk. It probably helps that my boyfriend is at work. So that kind of routine is like, he's away Monday to Friday, not away, but you know, he goes to work Monday to Friday. Then the weekends we have together, so I can do my own thing during the week, which is YouTube, filming, editing, those kind of things. And then the weekends we have time together. So that's a positive for me, is having that structure and routine. Might not be for everybody, but also just to be kind to yourself and listen to it, what your mind is telling you, what your body's telling you. Like I said, I have had a couple of days where I've not been on social media, I've not really done much of anything. I've just wanted to turn my phone off, to be honest, and just be in bed. And I did that for a couple of days, but after that I thought, no, that's it, I'm not going to be sad anymore. Get out of bed, come on, like, get your life together. and I've got back into YouTube, social media, and started my routine and structure and just my journey back to being positive. But like I said, don't be too hard on yourself. I know I struggle around this time of year, so just to be kind as well. My last question then is, do you have another haul video coming soon? I don't, and I don't plan to either, because I am not going anywhere. I'm staying inside. My item of clothing that I'm living in right now is the North Face quarter zip little fleece that I bought from Bista. Yeah, I bought from Bista, which if you haven't checked that video out, definitely do. It done surprisingly well. So I'm probably not going to do any more hauls. If I do, it'll just be loungewear. So if I buy anything, I will show you. But I'm not planning on it. I'm trying to save for a house, and yeah, I don't plan on spending my money on clothes. But you know, it just happens, isn't it? A couple £100, you're like, shit. So I was meant to be saving, and then you just do it. You're like, oh, whatever. And you justify it because we're in a global pandemic, so who cares? But I'm not trying to do that right now, because I'm trying to save, like I said. So right now I don't see any hauls coming. Maybe if we come out of lockdown, I'd love to do like a New Year's Eve outfit haul, like options for New Year's Eve or that kind of thing. But we will have to see. I don't have anything planned right now. Other than that, that is all of my questions. So thank you so much to everybody that has taken the time to ask me a question. I really appreciate it. If you want to be involved in the next Q&A, just follow me on my Instagram. I'll leave it here and also down below. Other than that, thank you so much for watching this video. Be kind to yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.